What is up?
We're back.
After baseball
Whoops.
fun times, learning the local doctor's clinic sponsors the local Little League team. That's so sweet. Did you play Little League growing up?
Absolutely
And
not.
you had the thing where like local businesses would sponsor teams and...
Yeah, my sister played.
Oh, that's awesome.
I did not play sports because I would break in half.
I did while I was growing up and kind of grew out of it because I just didn't find it fun, but...
What did I ever do a sport? No, not really. I tried to do fencing lessons, but that didn't go good.
Yeah, you would. All right, then. I'm off.
Look out for cars.
No.
Be back before dinner time.
What is this about cars? You mean like a van? A large white van?
Yeah, don't get hit by one of those.
Today was the day of the barbecue party. That was the Hinamizawa Fighters' victory celebration. Of course, I, having prepared myself, skipped breakfast in order to stay hungry. Though, with all the club members coming, it was pretty possible there would be a contest based on how fast or how much you could eat. I know that was just like a visual bug, but still it's really funny, Rena being in the void for just a moment. Keiichi, I broke the fourth wall.
I hit it with my bat.
How come Rena didn't get up there and give some swings, huh?
Afraid of her own strength.
Rena was already at the usual meeting place. Mion arrived a few minutes later.
Great. Let's get going. This old man skipped breakfast and is starving to death.
Anyway, I expected nothing less. I, too, went without breakfast and am now in top physical condition.
Wow, you two. Skipping breakfast is bad for your health. Rena made sure to eat something.
Yeah, you're great, Rena. Breakfast is an important part of the day. I'm sure you'll surpass that underdeveloped Mion, get yourself a nice sexy body, and be all over the dirty magazines.
The dirty magazines. If I get a nice body, then maybe a prince on a white horse will come for Rena too? For Rena too?
Rena, I've got so many questions about, like, what your vibe is.
Me too,
Yeah,
honestly.
This voice, a prince on a white horse will come for you.
Definitely not happening.
They can't get horses in Hinamizawa anymore.
If you won't take responsibility for them, Kei-chan, then don't give Rena any silly ideas. She might start eating breakfast 3 times a day starting tomorrow.
Yeah, I could see Rena doing that. Wait, who did this gluttonous princess think was going to come for her? Well, anyway, we're all nice and hungry, right? Let's go and treat ourselves to the big barbecue party.
Yeah!
The venue for said barbecue was to be the Furude Shrine grounds where Rika-chan lived. They held events and festivals there and barbecues as well. It was the place that held all sorts of ceremonies in Hinamizawa. Come to think of it, there was supposed to be a big village festival coming up, wasn't there? Watanagashi or something? I don't know, I've never heard of it.
Alright, it's the church cookout episode.
Oh yeah, going to the church cookout, baby.
Did you get dragged along to those as a kid?
Yeah. To be honest, like those small social events were some of the best parts about going to church. Because
Yeah.
A, food, and B, you just get to be around nice people.
I unironically loved that part of it. All the
Yeah.
other parts were frustrating and bad. No,
Like,
not all the other
parts where like there's a fostered community of people you wouldn't really know or otherwise that kind of gets you, like, feels like you know more of the people in your town and you get to just do stuff like, hey, we can have a barbecue if we want to. If you just took the religious part out of all of that, I'd be like, damn, that sounds fucking awesome.
The 2 parts that were good were the cookouts where everybody makes good food and then tells me to eat it because I'm a growing kid, and then I run around and climb trees
Yep.
and fall out of the trees, and the singing. Making everybody sing a bunch
Mm-hmm.
was good
Because singing
music
also
is cool.
like releases. Does it release endorphins? It just makes you happy. Like you feel happier when you sing. That's why I sing all the time, even along to like drone music that doesn't have melody.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh, it doesn't matter how I'm feeling. I sing a little bit, I feel happier.
You're carrying an instrument with you all the time.
Aw, that's very poetic. Yes, I do carry my bongos with me at all times and places.
They're right over there.
They are right over there. The scenery you could see from that high up was fairly superb, and the calm atmosphere particular to shrines was something fairly difficult to find in the city. We left our bicycles at the bottom of the shrine steps and broke into a mad dash up the stairs. When we arrived on the shrine grounds, the Hinamizawa fighters and their fathers had already gathered and begun setting up for the barbecue early. Of course, Sadako and Rika-chan were there as well. When they noticed our arrival, they waved to us.
You managed not to forget about this. Curses, if you all hadn't come, there would have been that much more meat for me. How truly disappointing it is.
Oh, you underestimated us, Sadako. Now that we've arrived, you don't think you'll be able to have even one bite of that fabulously marbled beef, do you? Remember when we ate our bento here? You and I have a fatal difference in reach. I'll be overwhelming you once again.
What? I cannot allow that to happen by any means.
Cry and shout all you want. You'll just be watching us fill our mouths with beef. Don't worry, though. We'll give the peppers and onions all to you.
I'll give Sadako lots and lots of the grilled squash, too.
It's important for a growing girl, right? When Sadako heard the word squash, her complexion changed color. When she took my overwhelming reach into account, she knew it wasn't just a threat, it would actually happen.
Why are all of her fears vegetable-based?
I know! Like, what?
I'll go tell the coach. I'll tell him you really love squash. If it's for you, I bet he'll get a whole mountain of specialty squash from all over Japan.
No!
Well, good for you, Sadako. You'll have your pick of the squash. You can have squash from dawn till dusk, 3 meals a day.
Rena, everyone's bullying me.
Sadako tried to leap into Rena's chest. Oh no, clearly given another second, Rena's mock punches would have piled us on the ground. So just before Sadako hit Rena, I grabbed her by the nape of the neck and pulled her back. A superb reaction with only seconds of foresight. At least it was supposed to be. But for Rena, when I caught the leaping, crying Sadako, it looked like I was keeping her for myself. Oh! Bam!
Ah, no, Keiichi-kun. This is Rena's, okay? I'm taking her home.
Renaissance! Beat up Mio and Enrica like that, too.
Whoa, hold on there. Ah!
Bam! Okay, now where can Rika be? There she is! Renaissance over there!
Just wait, Sadako-chan. I'll take care of her right away. Then I'm bringing you straight home. Meep. Sadako, you're mean. Ah, Rika-chan's so cute too. I'm gonna take her home.
Oh, Rika, it serves you right.
Sadako laughed in a shrill voice at Rika-chan and Rena's unproductive game of tag while we watched them sprawled out on the ground.
Are you alright, Maebara-san? Sonozaki-san?
The coach came over and lent us a hand.
Yeah, this is just how we communicate, that's all. Don't mind us.
If the way we communicate ends up leaving bruises on my face, then I don't want any more to do with it.
You never learn, do you?
Laughed the coach loudly. Made us start to laugh as well. Sadako's laughter, Rika-chan's yelling, and Rena's strange voice were kind of comfortable to hear.
You heard it here first. My voice is strange,
I was
according
wondering
to
about
the
that, like,
narration.
What is strange about her voice? The adults knew that what they were doing, so the barbecue was already in short order. As the salad oil dripped down onto the plate with a hiss, there was a loud cheer. The coach brought over a big plate with all the meat on it. We cheered again.
Wow, this meat looks amazing. Coach, you really did splurge on it. I did make a promise. Can you tell how much all of this weighs? It really did cost me a lot.
Of course it did. Third-rate meat wouldn't be enough of a reward for everything I did yesterday.
Yeah, Sadako-chan's definitely the guest of honor today.
Yeah, Sadako was the one who hit that last home run after all. She might have caught the guy off guard, but the arc it flew was long and true.
Sadako is pretty athletic. Not bad at all. She could be one of the best of our generation. She doesn't fall behind in physical ability, even compared to me.
I could straight up murk a guy.
She could. Maybe Sadako-chan has a big future in the world of sports.
Yeah, you know me. Just give me a baseball bat. Stop singing my praises. You're making me blush.
Munch, munch.
Sadako, for whom the excessive praise made her not notice the moderately grilled meats being stolen one after the other, was just far too cute. Rika, you little shit! Hey, Barazan, this is heavy! Tomi-kun and Okamura-kun were carrying something over to us. It was a huge barbecue plate. Whoa! The barbecue's protagonist has arrived! The plate was chock full of skewers with vegetables and meat on them. Oh, damn, that sounds good right now.
Yeah.
Skewers with, probably not real meat for us, but, damn, that still sounds really good. The grilled, burning hot meat juices made a shh noise as they drizzled off. Gulp. You'll need a lot of heat for cooking something on a metal skewer, so they'd grilled the whole plate at once. Can't have a barbecue without some of these, right? You can say that again. All about, so let's... Oh. I probably got that backwards.
Yeah.
Yep, can't have a barbecue without some of these. Oh, you could say that again. I'll help out, so let's get it over there. Up we go.
Wow. Look, it's amazing.
Everyone greeted us with a cheer. Each person received a skewer with vegetables and big pieces of meat on it. They also received paper cups filled to the brim with juice. In my right hand were pounds of piping hot barbecue. In the left was a cup of juice that I could chug down. This didn't make you want to dance? You weren't a man. Can't hold back any longer. I'm gobbling it down. Gobble, 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 gobble.
Not just yet, Kei-chan. We've got a little ceremony first. Can I have your attention, everyone?
The coach, with a cup of beer in his hand, mounted the nearby beer cooler. It's supposed to be a victory celebration, after all. We needed an opening statement. Damn, I hope it ends soon. For every second this goes on, for a little more of the food's freshness goes away. Whoa! Sadako stomped down onto the back of my foot.
My word. Men your age are so greedy. Can you not wait a little more elegantly?
Is everything I'm thinking really shown on my face?
Yes, actually. Actually, you've got a little display in the back of your head. It just shows it. That's where we've been reading the narration from.
Okay, is everyone listening? We won a huge game yesterday. It had become a hard battle after that amazing pitcher came in, but thanks to equally reliable saviors on our side, we scored a beautiful turnaround victory.
Both my hands were full, so the adults and older brothers gave us a round of applause.
This is to celebrate that victory. As promised, I got a ton of delicious meat for everyone. Eat as much as you want and use that energy on our next game.
Then after a few words of thanks to the fathers and brothers who helped with the barbecue, he led us in a toast.
Cheers!
They say that when toasting you would normally down the contents of your cup, but we were young. At the toast, all of us immediately began to dig into our skewers. Aw, that's nice. After that, it got really lively, with everyone congratulating one another for things they did during the game. Someone made a great catch, or how awesome someone looked when stealing a base. Of course, they congratulated me too, the savior who appeared to fight against the Koshien pitcher. Well, even what I did was all thanks to Sadako.
Sadako did have a plan, but you're the only one who could have won over Kameda like you did, Kei-chan. You did more than enough to deserve praise. By the way, Keiichi-kun, you went to eat cake with Kameda-kun after that, didn't you? You looked like you were best friends. The seeds of friendship sprouting between male rivals, something like that. That's sort of, well, it's...
What's on your mind, Rena?
Gay sex.
Rena! What? What is it with the people around me in BL today? I violently brushed through Rena's hair as she turned red in the face for some reason at the mention of friendship between males, dispersing her pleasant-seeming ideas. Now then, where's the hero, or rather the heroine, Sadako? Oh, there she is. Sadako was with Rika-chan in the middle of bragging her heart out about the home run yesterday, and her teammates spared no compliment for her. since even though he was going easy on her, the fact that she had to throw from a Koshien pitcher was something else. Sadako was more loquacious than usual. Seemed she was in a great mood. She was flying so high I thought for a moment about getting a word in to tease her, but she was the leading actress today, so I decided not to bully her at all. To watch Sadako going at things as lively as usual under the sun struck me that it didn't quite line up with the pleasant time I'd spent with her. But both of those were the real Sadako. I didn't care which it was, her smiling happily or making a big lively fuss like this. Just as long as she would keep smiling like this forever.
She looks like she's having fun.
Or at least the next couple weeks.
Quite a lot of it.
The coach had approached me from behind before I realized it. He gazed at Sadako from afar like I had been doing. He addressed me, so I could tell he was talking about her.
Doesn't it just cleanse your soul to see Sadako-chan smiling?
He smiled, refreshed, searching for confirmation. Felt a little embarrassed a minute, so against my better judgment, I played it off. Oh, really? I don't think her smile could cleanse so much as a plate.
I'm sure Sadako-chan would be mad if she heard that, but that part of her is very cute too.
Leaving her cuteness aside, I can understand him thinking Sadako getting angry for being teased would be funny. Mr. IRA, was it?
It's Irie. Everyone else calls me Coach, though. I'd be very happy if you called me Coach as well, my boss.
Have we heard anyone refer to Coach before now?
Maybe.
I don't remember if we've ever had any little asides talking about Coach, but... As he said that, Coach Irie smiled, blushing a little. Seemed like Sadako a lot, Coach. I didn't have any real basis for saying that. It was just what I felt to be true.
Yes, I do like her. I love her, in fact. When she gets older, I'm thinking of asking her to marry me.
What? This guy really says some insane stuff, doesn't he? Being astonished by this, I hurried to put my mind back in order. Heard that this coach guy was the kind of person who said crazy things out of nowhere. According to Mio, if I took everything he said seriously, I physically would not be able to take it. If I was able to ignore that part of him, he seemed like he'd be a really funny guy.
Maebara-san, did that surprise you? Could it be you're going after Sadako-chan yourself? That would bother me then. I've been going after her for decades now, you know?
What? Decades? What? How old is she? What? Wait,
She's
what?
like 30.
Oh. What? Coach Sadako hasn't even been alive for much more than a decade.
Huh?
Coach gave a dry grin and laughed. Was this how I should be doing it? I must somehow master the art of responding to this coach guy. After that, I received many words of praise for my actions, almost too many. That conversation was happening. Leaving aside the controversial statements the coach person would spout suddenly, I learned he was very composed and not a bad guy by any stretch. I think Sadako deserves more praise for that crazy home run she got. I didn't think she had it in her.
Sadako-chan's older brother was more the quiet bookworm type. She probably inherited the exact opposite skill set.
What? I thought Satoshi played baseball. Right? Didn't we? Or was that just implied by his uniform and bat and stuff? Right, he picked up a bat one day and started practicing out of nowhere. Oh, right, he picked up a bat one day and started practicing out of nowhere. Oh, right. Okay, never mind. Her brother, huh? Oh, right, he meant Satoshi. The one who left Sadako and ran away from home. Sadako's Nini. Satoshi Hojo.
Do you not know about him? Sadako-chan's older brother, I mean. His name is Satoshi Hojo-kun, and he played with the Hinamizawa Fighters, too. So he did play.
Okay.
I wanted him to play a lot more, but then he transferred.
Huh. I see. Transferred to where? So he transferred. Yeah, that was a little more considerate than saying he ran away. When they mentioned it, I think it was Rena. I think she said Satoshi transferred too. I didn't know the details of him having run away from home at the time, so I didn't pay much attention to it, but... Just ask where he transferred to. Oh yeah, he transferred to a school in the next prefecture. You know, we can give him a call if you'd like. He's fine.
It turns out that he just transferred to Okinomiya and they could go visit him at any time.
Yep. Only her brother transferred. That's sort of unusual. Everyone having fun was far away, and their cheerful voices distant. The chorus of the cicadas separated us from them, giving me a sense of distance. First, I thought my own voice was too soft for even me to hear. But for a really long time, Coach didn't respond to my words. At this point, I began to wonder if I had said something I shouldn't have. Just when I began to feel impatient, Coach finally spoke.
Something unfortunate happened. A few things, actually.
After informing me that what he was about to say was a secret, Coach began to talk a little at a time.
Time for the lore dump?
Finally!
It's been 3 years already.
Is this Sadako's theme? Is that what this is?
Maybe. Right around this time of year, I think. Sadako-chan's parents were in an accident.
An accident, huh?
Yes. At a public park they visited while on vacation, they fell from a viewing platform. It was supposed to just be a little time away from the house with the family. They went for a walk on a path through a nature park after it had rained. There was a little viewing platform that looked like it had a good view, and that was the stage on which the tragedy was set. The metal fixtures in the viewing platform fence had deteriorated from time. And with all the rain they had just gotten, they might have loosened somewhat. Right before Sadako's eyes, both the fence and her parents fell. There was a river some tens of meters below. The water level was high due to the rain, and apparently very muddy. And her
And her parents? Coach gave a thin but melancholic smile and touched his paper cup to his lips. Not saying anything, I knew how unfortunate that accident was, and how Sadako's parents had left on an eternal vacation. So I wonder, we've heard about, okay, so we've heard corroborating versions of this event several times now.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how Sadako thinks of it.
Yeah, I wonder.
Is there a part of her that blames herself for that?
I wonder.
I wonder if there's other things that went on, because her and Satoshi were also there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought so, but then Sadako is, well, I was so focused on being careful with my words that I lost what I was going to say. A single word. Orphaned. I knew how little consideration it showed and how much it would hurt Sadako without having to say it out loud. Come to think of it, Sadako lived with Rika-chan, didn't she? At least that's what I thought I heard from the others. Wait, Rika-chan, her father died from illness too, and her mother soon after. Like I heard she was living by herself.
Yes, she's living with Furude-san right now. They've probably lived many discouraging days without any parents, but they've gotten along by helping each other. Going on living without the protection of parents is very difficult for kids that age, I think. Maebara-san, you can probably understand that as well.
What? I've only survived because I rely on my parents, so the only reply I could give to was to nod. Why is that something you would... Without the protection of parents, it's very difficult for kids that age. Why would Maebara-san understand that it's difficult to go on living without the protection? Is he saying that you realize how much you rely on your parents?
Yeah.
Okay.
Furude-san is particularly beloved by the older people in the village. As long as she's here, she won't want for much.
Okay, so they are...
That gives you your answer as to how they make their living.
It's like, the older people are just kind of taking care of Rika out of a sense of obligation or duty or just like...
And religious devotion.
Yep.
She is the local religious figure.
Yep, and it wouldn't do for her to be starving. Come to think of it, you're right. Rika-chan kind of seems like the village mascot sometimes. I don't think she'd have a hard time living here. Rika-chan could go, meep, just once and get 2 or 3 croquettes from a vendor after all. Felt like if she asked for help, everyone in the village would...
But that only applies to Furude-san in particular. Sadako-chan doesn't have it the same way.
Rika being so spoiled was just an exception. Upon thinking about it normally, living on your own as a child should be fraught with difficulty. It wasn't then very difficult to imagine just how much suffering Sadako had to go through just to live. It wasn't very difficult to imagine. I like how this telling also skips over the part where she moves in with her aunt and uncle.
Does
it? It just kind of goes from talking about how her parents died to, oh, she lives with Rika now. It doesn't explicitly skip over it, but the way it's framed kind of aligns that whole part of...
Perhaps.
Was I really thinking that? No, I was only thinking the words. Couldn't imagine it in the slightest. How was I supposed to imagine it when I saw that annoying smile of hers? There was no way I could. I don't know, she was living apart from her brother, and I just kind of vaguely thought it was rather unfortunate. Sadako was smiling so energetically every single day. Was I thinking that her smiling meant she wasn't hurt? That she didn't feel lonely? When she found out my parents were coming home the other night, Sadako said,
A family sitting around the dinner table is the most fun way to enjoy a meal of all.
Those words held a lot more weight now.
I've seriously considered adopting her.
Well, adoption, huh?
It's a secret.
After warning me, Coach put his index finger to his lips.
I've lived a really steady life all these years. I have money and a good reputation, but marriage is the one thing I never got around to. By law, obviously, a single individual can't adopt a child, so I can't make Sadako-chan my adopted daughter. What a shame. Didn't take long for my plan to get her to call me Papa to hit a setback.
This guy spouts some crazy stuff. First, I was only half listening to him. But midway through, I realized how rude that was. This coach person seriously only wished for this one girl, Sadako, to be happy. It was neither crazy nor was it nonsense. He just wanted her to be happy. Those were his true feelings. Single, huh? Could still conceivably be her uncle. But no, if he was her uncle, he would already have custody right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no. Okay.
Sadako-chan's current lifestyle is probably not a very happy one, but I want to make it easier for her, even if it's only a little. Of course, I can't do much for her but share my leftover food and do errands that she's not strong enough to do.
You're wrong. Sadako is happy.
Huh?
Coach showed surprise at my having declared that. There's so many people all around her that really want her to be happy. She can't possibly feel otherwise. It's impossible to feel sad when people are happy all around you. I spoke with a serious expression, quietly but firmly all the same. It was my approval of his feelings and my gratitude to Sadako's Nini.
Thank you. Still, keep this a secret from Sadako-chan, okay? If she knew I wanted to adopt her, she'd probably get mad and call me a pervert for wanting me to call her Papa.
What? For wanting me to call her Pop.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I was like, hold on, what? Mr. Irie. What the fuck? I'm sorry, what? I wonder. Sadako may have been somewhat childish, but she was still able to empathize with people. She'd call him that. I knew it. As if my feelings had gotten across, Coach grinned, satisfied, and returned his gaze to the hustle and bustle before us. Her parents and her older brother. She lost her family and had no relatives. I was huddled up with Rika-chan, who was in the same situation. Sadako Hojo. Wouldn't it be odd for her to look at her life with despair, but she didn't seem to feel that way. She lived energetically with a smile.
I want her to keep smiling forever.
It was a naive wish, and yet it was one that he couldn't help hoping for. The words that I spoke were the same. What a coincidence. I think the same way.
Oh, you too, Maebara-kun. Then that makes us friends. Let's make a promise.
Uh-oh. A promise?
It's a very simple one.
The coach said this, giving me a grin.
That we will never, ever make her cry.
It was short and to the point. Yeah, I promised to. Except for all the times I do it on purpose. Coach nodded happily. Right. We exchanged no more words after that. We just sat there comfortably gazing at Sadako and everyone else having a good time. She'd certainly lost family, but there were people watching over her. How reassuring must that have been? Just hypothetically, if you did adopt Sadako, what would you do?
That's a tough one.
Are you like a bachelor, or are you like a confirmed bachelor? Coach gave a wry, happy smile, then exaggeratedly tilted his head in contemplation.
Well, first I would get her to call me master and make her into a lovely, kind-hearted maid.
Huh. What? How does this guy always pick the craziest time to say the craziest things?
Maebara-kun?
His glasses fogged over. You know, this guy gives me very big George energy.
Fixated on a maid that is too young.
Yeah.
Is the glasses guy.
Is the glasses guy.
Everybody seems to look up to and excuse his him and excuse his behavior,
even though
despite
it's
it being kind of
patently
weird.
creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Big George vibes.
He's got like kind of the shirt color theme a little bit.
Uh-huh. I also want to point this out. He's wearing glasses, but also has shades in his pocket. Are those clip-on shades?
I don't know, but either way, like, A, did they have transition lenses in the 80s yet?
Okay, that's a good point.
And B, also, like, plenty of people don't use transition lenses, and I have separate sunglasses and glasses.
All right. You're okay.
I should get sunglasses. What kind of sunglasses would I look cool in?
Yes. Any kind that you wear at night.
Okay, got
so
it.
you can see the light that's right before your eyes.
I hate bright sunlight, but I also don't ever have sunglasses, and I just realized that this is a problem I could just fix at any time.
Folks, don't mess around with a guy in shades. Oh, no. Are we ready? I'm sorry.
Maebara-kun, I haven't said anything yet.
What are you talking about? I heard it loud and clear.
Oh, that's right. I clearly said I would make Sadako into my own personal pretty maid.
Oh, fuck. You're here.
Ah, that sounds nice. Sadako-chan all pretty. Oh, pretty and purity are really hard to differentiate, right? Be careful with mixing refined Japanese words and English together.
I get it. Honestly, the intricacies of the language know no bounds.
That's right. Kei-chan, you do understand. Then with that, it's time for...
My hand shot out and grabbed Shion, smiling, waving, and about to leave by the nape of her neck. Hey, wait right there! Okay, so he does know who Shion is in this chapter. Don't just show up out of nowhere and start saying crazy shit. What the hell? What are you doing here anyway? Why are you here all of a sudden? Why are you?
Speaking of saying crazy stuff, I thought the Sadako love talk you were having with the coach was pretty crazy too. I can perform a reenactment of the adoption bit. Wanna see?
Ugh, you've been hiding ever since then?
It's what I do. I lurk. Keiichi, you can't even beat my sister. You're 100 years too early to challenge me.
This was Shion Sonozaki, the younger of the Sonozaki twins. Though she hadn't a scrap of the reserved quality you'd expect from a little sister. She was a villain no better than her older sister Mion.
I'm here to cause problems on purpose.
Yeah, you would. We met the other day in town and I dug myself into a hole when I mistook her for Mion. Unlike Mion, Shion said she was living in Okonomiya, so I thought we'd never see each other again, but to think we actually would. Okay, so they didn't wind up having a bigger connection this time. It's just like, oh, okay, nice to meet you. Sorry, I put my foot in my mouth, and now she's like, oh, here you are, okay.
Where do you think they met in town? Do you think it was when it was time for dessert day?
It might have been time for dessert day. My frankly displeased expression didn't change a bit, because he already knew what Angel Mort was at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So.
This has the, once again, interaction of being at Angel Mort and getting a Sonozaki sister, but this time gets Shion instead of Mion. Still is like, oh, that's Mion, and just gets ruthlessly mocked for it now instead.
My frankly displeased expression didn't change a bit either. This must be what people mean when they say something is like water off a duck's back.
Shion-san, you came. I was disappointed because I thought you wouldn't make it. Well, I couldn't think of anything else to do, really. I figured I'd come and tease you all a little.
Wait, why is she here? Wait, why is she here?
I know, right? Why am I here?
Coach, why did you need to call Shion to our victory celebration? How did she contribute to our team's win?
Well, you see, I'm actually the manager for the Hinamizawa Fighters.
The manager? The manager?
The manager.
Sorry. The manager. No, wait, then why weren't you at the game yesterday?
That's because I'm like a ghost manager.
She didn't think I'd forgive her if she stuck her tongue out and smiled. And she was right, that does work on me, I am a teenager. She wasn't sorry at all.
The match wasn't nearly as pretty without you there. I won't tell you to come to practices, but could you at least come to games to root for us like you used to?
I'll think about it. Maybe I will if Kei-chan joins the Hinamizawa Fighters. I can't get into a cheering mood when there's no good-looking guy on the team.
Huh? What? Huh? Did Shio just smoothly say something absurd?
Shion!
You have to do it like Shio.
Shion!
And then canned laughter, not wave.
You little, where did you come from?
Suddenly, Mion came running over, latched onto my shoulders, and pulled me towards her.
Ah, it's Mi-chan's little sister. Hello, Shi-chan. Have you come to steal our boyfriend?
What? Wait, who's the hour? What it? Help me. Just help me out here. What is happening?
Hello, Rena-san. I'm honored you remembered my name. We only met once. Oh, not at all. Thanks for remembering Rena's name, too.
They only met once, huh?
Cut the stupid greetings. You're not allowed to solicit Kei-chan. He's the hope of our club. Don't pull him out and put him in baseball like he's some kind of plant.
Did Mion make the game club at her school out of jealousy that Shion runs a baseball team? Like, look at me, I can run a game club too. No, I don't think that's the case, but still. Mion gave a low growl as she grappled my arm. Look like a little girl desperately clinging to her toy.
Yep, Keiichi-kun is the star rookie of our club. We could never trade him away.
Rena's smile hid a nonchalant bloodthirst. She was blocking Shion's way, ready to unleash an ultimate attack if she got within 2 meters of me. Okay, Rena will just straight up kill anyone that takes Keiichi away. Got it. Felt like this was going to turn into a bloody battle.
That's too bad. We'll leave the negotiations for another time.
What negotiations?
You don't have the right to negotiate. Coach, why did you call Shion here too? She's a ghost member. She's been slacking off for the last year.
I just thought it'd be even more fun if Shion-chan was here.
More adults that like causing problems on purpose.
Yep, it definitely worked.
That was what he planned for all along, huh? Mission accomplished.
Hey, Kei-chan, come over here. We're all playing a game, with strings attached, of course. Shi-chan, how about you? The rules are simple and it'll be fun. Should I? I'll just win if I join in after all. I don't want to ruin my sister's presidential image.
Mio, now irritated, turned around with a glare.
Ugh.
What is it, my sister? Should I join in to make this a battle of the siblings? For your sake, I don't think we should. But if you want to... I won't let you play Shion. We're leaving you out.
Nah. Sometimes you remember that they're just kids. They're just fucking kids. Whoa, Mion just avoided a direct confrontation. Seemed like the twins were completely incompatible with each other.
You won't let her play? I was looking forward to seeing you two face off. I hate Shion. I'm bad against her.
An angry Mion dragged me away. Slide.
She keeps trying to steal our boyfriend.
Wait, what? Wait, you too? What's going on here?
Do your best.
With what?
I'll be rooting for you. Go for it, Kei-chan. Yay!
Shion, help me. Who is their boyfriend? I don't understand. Shion waved her hand at us, reveling in the bliss of teasing Mion. All right. Club activities had begun, which meant I needed to clear my mind. What was today's battle? Today's punishment game? I'd take anything on.
Okay, Keiichi-san. That was a bad time to try to go for your water bottle, because you have another line. You should prepare yourself. We're going all out today.
Great, bring it on, Sadako, or not, I'll crush all you mercilessly.
Rena will profit from your battle and fish herself up a win. Then I'll get all the manta rays first and ride them to victory.
Are we swimming? Going fishing? What's happening?
Rika-chan is flat like a manta ray. I want to take you home. Okay, everyone. Moving right past that.
Whatever
we
that
have
was.
a lot of people today, so let's play something easy and simple. Today's game is...
Tag. Straight up tag. Oh, it's just not even important. Zombie tag?
Today's game is a ruse to get my sister out of here.
Now, you all understand how the game works, right?
No?
Everyone who lost the game dropped out and had to help clean up after the barbecue.
Mion Sonozaki hosts Game Changer.
God! Actually, yes.
2 weeks later, set soaked in blood.
There's your first Game Changer across Higurashi fanfic. Mion Sonozaki hosts Game Changer. Shion laughed more uproariously than anyone had ever heard when she saw my loser face. All right. Was my getting bombed out of the game really that funny?
Man, oh man, Kei-chan's face. He was like, how can you still call yourselves human?
Damn it! It all worked out when I brought up the scissors. When I bought up the scissors, if only Sadako Rika-chan hadn't betrayed me. Bought up the scissors. It was going great while we had maintained a united front, but Sadako had been quicker to betray me than I her. She was just a tiny bit better than me. Ugh! Were they playing a game with scissors at one point?
I don't know. I warned you about trusting Hojo.
I warned you about trusting Hojo. Tomi-kun and Okamura-kun were unanimously wearing I told you so faces. Incidentally, those two were victims of Sadako's traps pretty early on as well. Damn. Trying to do well enough to make up for you two. Once again, for the showdown, it didn't matter. This really meant I couldn't match up to the other members yet.
You were going to have the lowest ranked member of the club play a punishment game, weren't you?
Shion remarked, as though forcing me to recall something I'd tried to forget even for a moment. Is that right?
Come to think of it, Maebara-san. When you came up with the punishment game with the president, you looked really heated up. What on earth did you decide on?
Ugh.
Earlier, Mion told me to get an Angel Mort uniform ready.
How many ways can we conspire to get this man to cross-dress?
Does that have anything to do with it? She told me to get the biggest size I could find.
Tomi-kun and Okamura-kun were giving me these complex, indescribable looks mixing empathy, pity, and the desire to see something scary all at once. All I could do now was laugh. Strangely enough, the more I laughed, the more it felt like it was actually funny. Ugh! I lost!
Oh my. Maebara-san, what's the matter?
Not you!
You're smiling, crying, and howling.
I'm feeling every single emotion at once right now.
It's okay. He's just pretending not to like it. He can't hide his excitement at the opportunity to gain valuable experience, using the punishment game as an excuse.
Shion Sonozaki looking at Keiichi's browser history. Ah, yes, all of the femdom. All of
You have to understand, I'm not transphobic. I'm an ally. I'm just a bitch.
Not transphobic, just a bitch. Exactly. You forgot the...
Oh, right.
Ugh! What do you mean, valuable experience? I held my hands in agony. My state of mind could be summed up with a 3-letter word. It was... Mom! Coach gently put his hands on my shoulders. Was he comforting me?
Maebara-san, in times where you must accept hardship, just imagine that you're a maid on the receiving end of some strict disciplining.
What the fuck is... Alright, you actually need to chill. We're children, buddy.
See, doesn't the hopeless situation seem kind of fun now? Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Red in the face and indulging in his imagination, still holding my shoulders, Coach said,
Oh, master.
and started twirling around like a ballerina. I had to wonder what kind of word associations he had going on in his head. At the very least, it was much different than it was in mine. First thing that comes to mind when I think of disciplining certainly isn't maids. Wait, I don't have any breasts. How is the uniform going to stay up? Do you have, like, some of that double-sided tape? Don't ask me why I know about that. Tomita-kun. Okamura-kun. Your coach is pretty funny. Surprised he can even be a coach. Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun exchanged glances and answered with dry smiles. He added that he was a really nice person most of the time, which is something you'd normally say about a person like that. Is the joke here going to be that he actually is a horrific pedophile and we're just kind of making jokes about it the entire time? That seems like a very RO7 twist to happen at some point where it's like, yeah, we're all having fun. We're just joking around because it's a shonen thing, right? And then, oh no, he was being serious the whole time. This is actually horrifying. The coach's questionable revolution slowed to a stop, and then his expression returned to a clear, calm one, almost making what just happened seem like an illusion. He can switch gears way too fast.
Then let us start cleaning up. Maebara-san, you seem quite strong.
You know it.
Could you bring the plates over to the wash basins and clean them?
Right on it! I hoisted the dirty barbecue plates, each with slimy oil clinging to it, and looked for the wash basins. Ugh, these are so heavy! Where are the wash basins? Over there! Thinking I should make it there before my arms gave out, I headed towards it at a trot. A lot of the adults who had been helping out were using the wash basins, so I gave up a look for a different set. I asked them and told them that there were more right by the assembly hall, too, so I decided to head that way. Rather than multiple basins, there was just one faucet here. Keiichi washing dishes in the shrine to purify yourself before entering the shrine. You know, the place where you clean out your belly button.
Yeah, exactly.
This is also the first time we've seen this. Background. Initially thought it would be too small to wash plates as big as these, but probably still be faster than waiting for a faucet to open up back there. Turned the faucet in water, much nicer looking than it gushed forth. Put a plate under the faucet and scrubbed it with my hand to try and rub it clean. Didn't go very well.
Here you go, a sponge and dish soap.
Thanks, Shion. That's really helpful.
You can't wash them with just water.
It was Shion. Thanks. She threw a brand new sponge and container filled with cleaner to me. Thanks. How did you find all that stuff around here?
You know.
Did you get that from the warehouse?
Maybe, maybe not. Who's asking? You should have just put them by the basins and left it to the grown-ups. You're always doing the right thing.
I got the feeling that wasn't quite a compliment. I answered her with a forced smile.
What's with that? Making choices that are good.
You know what? You got her point. I
It's
don't always
off-putting.
like to cause problems on purpose. I was surprised to learn you're the manager for the Hinamizawa Fighters. The manager? I thought you just didn't do stuff like that because it's too much of a bother. Who are the two people we got? The manager and the director, right? That's really weird to think about. If she's the manager that was being referred to in scene 1, that would mean that it was Mion and Rena in his room. Right, but that makes sense because the autopsy in Chapter 1 identified her as Mion. And as we know, the autopsy would not get the two of them mixed up because of the tattoo. So,
what is your take on things that are Japanese language things that we will not get in the translation?
just hit me with them. It's fine. Someone who's more well-versed in Japanese might want to, like, attack that on their own.
Okay.
But like I said in our discussion, like, I'm just conceding on that front. If there's something cool you want to share with me, go for it.
It depends. It has directly to do with some of the things you've speculated with over the last 2 episodes and some of the lines of reasoning you're thinking about. There's something that, as I understand it, would be clear to a Japanese language reader that would not be to us.
Okay, is it like two different words both being translated as manager?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Something like that, yeah.
So I shouldn't get hung up on her being called the manager here. But then I won't know what situations to get hung up on it on.
There's, or rather, there's one word which is getting translated as multiple things.
Oh, okay. One word that's getting translated as multiple things, huh?
Yeah. So the thing that they are saying when they say manager
Yep.
is something that is used for multiple different words in English.
Okay. So in the English translation, the word that is being translated to manager here is also being translated to a different word in a different context.
Yeah. It's a thing that will not be obvious to us, but that would be
All right.
somebody else.
And giving me any more than that would be a bit too obvious.
It depends how much you want to know.
Well, I'll keep that in mind for now. That's important to know, though. I thought you didn't do stuff like that because it was too much of a bother, you know?
Yes, it is quite a bother. That's why I've stopped showing up entirely.
Didn't Coach say he wanted you to come back? You should pay a visit once in a while.
If I feel like it, I guess.
Shion made it sound like the end of the world could happen before she felt like it. Whoops. Couldn't keep washing the dishes while preoccupied with conversation, so I decided to take my task seriously. Shion neither offered to help nor got in my way. She just quietly watched over the water flowing from the faucet.
Oh, right. I heard something. You were the star player in yesterday's game, weren't you?
Sanako hit their home run, so I think she was the real star player. I didn't know she had those kind of reflexes. It surprised me.
She's totally different from Satoshi-kun. There's not much doubt that all the athletic ability in the family went to her.
Shion smiled as she spoke, her eyes looking at something far away, betraying her reminiscence. Satoshi-kun, huh?
Sadako Hojo's older brother. You know, Satoshi Hojo-kun? Oh, right. You just moved here this year, didn't you, Kei-chan? You wouldn't have ever met him.
I was a little surprised that Shion knew about Satoshi. Never met him, but I know a little. After their parents passed away, he transferred to a different school, right? See, his knowledge of it skips over the part.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, see, that's what I was pointing out earlier. Avoid saying that he ran away from home and used the slightly more vague words that everyone else did.
Transferred? Who said anything like that?
I hadn't yet realized that Shion's tone had changed slightly. Well, I mean, who was it then? Yeah, I heard it from someone that he transferred. From Coach.
Who?
Coach explicitly said he transferred, right?
Yep. As has Rena. You
Yep.
said that because you asked someone, right?
When I ask, I don't really remember. Even so, he transferred. That's it, right? Not like there's a problem with it.
There is one. Does that mean there's a record of his transfer to another school, and that someone saw it or heard about it?
Around that time, I not only noticed how awfully caught up on this Shion was, but also how startlingly dangerous her eyes had begun to look. Shion? Hey, what's up? You look really serious right now. With that, Shion seemed to realize the expression she was making. She took a deep breath, pretended to fix her hair, and went back to her composed expression from before.
I'm sorry, but Kei-chan, you don't know much about Satoshi-kun, so please don't say that he transferred or anything like that. I'm serious. Please.
I realized I must have said something I shouldn't have, but I wasn't immediately sure of what I should apologize for, so I just said one safe word for now. Sorry. Sure, heard he transferred and believed it. Was it actually something else? It was, of course. Preceded by his parents, he had left his sister and run away. But I wanted to try and avoid using the words run away, so I pretended not to know. Upon seeing my flustered reply, Shion realized she was intimidating me and lowered her voice.
I'm sorry for intimidating you. That wasn't on purpose. I only want you to be intimidated when I'm intimidating you on purpose.
Okay.
I'm not blaming you for anything, Kei-chan. I was being a little harsh. I apologize.
I didn't really mind. I just... Could you tell me explicitly what you think happened then, so I can get some knowledge?
I could, but it'd be less fun.
Okay, that was a fib. I was actually really scared even. Is there something wrong with saying he ran away? Is there some sort of misunderstanding in saying that he transferred? Before I could ask her, she turned on her heel to leave. Hey, Shio.
Right, good luck with those. Looks like your plate is last. That's the last one you need to wash.
Her final remark reminded me of the dishes I had so easily forgotten about. So immersed in conversation were we that it got pretty late. Turned the faucet again to get the water flowing faster. Whoosh! I violently scrubbed the plate. When I turned back around, Shion was no longer there. By the time I'd finished washing the plates, most of the other things had been cleaned up. The air had cooled off before I'd realized it, and as the heat that stuck with us all day dispersed, a nice breeze started to blow. What building is that was in front of? Because that wasn't the front of the shrine. That wasn't the front of the storehouse. And it wasn't the front of the assembly hall. Was that the front of the Furude's old home? Is that what that is? Because we've seen other images used for all those places. And it's not the front of the place where Rika lives now. Whatever.
Okay, everyone, can I have your attention?
Coach got everyone together to make his closing remarks. With that, another fun day drew to a close. In the end, Mion ended the game with a magnificent victory. Sadako and Rika-chan, who had labored so hard to betray me, had fallen into a huge trap afterwards, leaving them frustrated about more than a few things.
People who betray others will one day be betrayed themselves. Never been more true, huh?
Nah, you're not the one I want to hear that from, Keiichi-san.
It was Keiichi
Especially
saying
in Mion's voice.
that. That wasn't Mion's voice.
What? Whose voice was it?
I was the coach. I thought the coach was talking for some reason.
Oh, that was the coach. That's weird that you said that in the coach's voice. I couldn't tell with these big-ass headphones on.
Hahaha. Rena didn't fall for anyone's tricks. That's how I got second. Rena doesn't buy into lies very easily. This is an established personality trait from Chapter 1. She has a sharp wit.
Wait, what do you know about Chapter 1?
Everything.
What? I'm surprised. She seems like she would fall for the first lie to come her way.
I even have the manga on my shelf.
What? Manga? My dad's manga?
Our manga, Chapter 1.
Our manga? Since when have I created manga? I tried to avoid getting into that business.
Funny you should say that, Kei-chan. You desired to prey upon others, and right away, you became the prey instead. Make sure you don't fall for those dumb schemes that promise higher returns the more friends you rope in, okay?
Yeah, alright. No multi-level marketing for me. I'll try harder. Sub. Even good friends will lay traps mercilessly and betray everyone in sight once they get into a serious enough game. But despite that, once it's all over, they can feel refreshed and laugh together. Reminding me of how we were all such great friends.
Anyways, I'm looking forward to Keiichi-san's punishment game. However, can you really implement such a thing? I would think the store manager would have a thing or two to say about it, no? Ah!
I wonder. Maybe Keiichi-kun will be really cute. Cute. I kind of want to see. I am on the edge of my seat. I will trip him up and make him wipe the floor.
Rika, what the fuck?
That would be great.
Ugh, why couldn't I win now of all times? Whenever I think I'll definitely win today, I'll make someone else play the punishment game, I lose. Is it not enough? Do I not believe hard enough in victory?
The wailing of the loser tastes like sweet honey.
How sad, how sad.
Pat.
This is how you get stronger, Keiichi-kun. It's like I'm looking at Mi-chan from last year.
Mi-chan last year? What, she always lose and moan about it in the past? We do know that, yeah. How very interesting. I didn't know our undefeated President Mion was once like that.
No need to talk about that.
Mion hastily covered Rena's mouth. Everyone watching burst out laughing. Finally, Rika-chan pulled on Sadako's sleeve.
Okay, we should be going soon.
Oh, yes, we must go shopping for dinner, mustn't we?
I wanted to keep talking like this forever, but it was getting late. We split up with Sadako and Rika-chan and decided to get on our way home.
All right, bye. See you tomorrow at school.
Everyone waved to each other and split up for the short time between now and tomorrow.
Okay, let's go.
We began walking down the tall staircase leading from the shrine grounds. As the sun started to set, the afternoon's heat began to disappear as though it were never there. Just listening to the chorus of the Higurashi was enough to make me forget about how hot it had been today.
Come to think of it, it's still June, huh? We didn't have a rainy season at all this year. Like, all of a sudden it's just summer, you know?
Now that I thought about it, she was right. It was June, the season of long rain, hydrangeas, and snails. I haven't seen a real rainy season since transferring here.
According to the weather forecast, it's supposed to get more rainy during the first part of the week. They were warning people about heavy showers. I hope it doesn't run into Watanagashi. That's right, the rainy season's supposed to be rainy. Rena likes all the rain in the rainy season.
That's a tongue twister.
What? So much rain just makes me depressed. Hey, Kei-chan.
Yay, that, Keiichi desu. What? Ha! I was a little spaced out, so I was late in answering Mion. I was thinking back to my conversation with her sister. When I said that Satoshi transferred, she clearly got angry. She was mad at me for saying something so careless. I mean, it may have been a vague way of skirting around the fact that he ran away from home, but I don't think it was so bad that Shion would need to feel mad about it. I wasn't really satisfied with it. I felt like a child, completely ignorant of what he was being scolded for. So my thoughts spilled out of my mouth in a very direct fashion. Sadako had a brother, right? Named Satoshi, I think?
What?
As soon as I said the name Satoshi, Rena and Mion both lost their relaxed, comfortable mood and made strange expressions. Would I have avoided talking about this? That's what they made me think. But I've already said it, so that's that. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't interested. What happened to Satoshi again? Did he move away? Such a transparent way of putting it, but in my desire to know everything, I feigned ignorance. Mion turned around and looked to Rena for assistance. I don't want to out you. Rena looked between us, then quietly, softly spoke.
Wait, did we not tell you? He transferred out.
When I said those words to Shion, she got upset, so I answered her with the same words Shion had given me. Transferred? Who told you something like that?
Huh?
I only intended to borrow Shion's words, but I said it exactly the same way she had, right down to the thorns in my voice. When I realized what I'd done, I immediately tried to soften my remark. If really transferred, there'd be records of it at school and stuff, right? But is there actually anything like that? Mion and Rena, their eyes grew wide, and they were at a loss for words. Started to feel like I was doing something really bad. Thought they were only hiding the fact that Sadako's older brother ran away out of consideration for her. I'm not trying to blame you for anything, okay? I just wanted to ask what happened to Satoshi, that's all. I wasn't trying to blame them. The fact that I had to remind them even looked like I was tormenting them with an impossible question. He was actually bullying them. Maybe I had lashed out of them at retaliation for Shion getting mad at me. This whole day had been so much fun, but now, why did I go and say something that made all that meaningless? Why not just explain to it in the way that, like, hey, I clearly had a misunderstanding when I was talking with your sister earlier. Could you just clear this up for me, please? I couldn't help but regret my own careless curiosity. That's enough. Let's drop it for now. I was about to say that Mion spoke up.
Well, it's not like we were hiding it or lying. I hope you understand that's not what we were trying to do.
Mion's tone conveyed her genuine awkwardness. It sounded like the excuses of a child who'd been presented with evidence of her own mischief.
Satoshi, well, he didn't transfer schools.
Mion said, resigning herself, but I felt bad for pushing her to say that. So it's okay, Mion. Let's stop talking about Satoshi. Sorry for teasing you. I wanted to apologize, but right before that...
He won't come back.
What? Unlike Mion's stammered reply, Rena was extremely clear and resolute. He won't come back? What?
He won't come back home ever since that day.
He won't come back home. Oh, a very strange way of putting it. Normally you would say that he hadn't come back yet. At least I thought you'd only say it like Rena did if he wasn't capable of coming back. You wouldn't say it like that when talking about someone who ran away from home. What do you mean he won't come back? Where did he go? Why are we being ambiguous when we clearly started this conversation over the ambiguity of the original statement?
Don't know.
Don't know, huh? Well, that's fun. Rena's word choice felt very cold to me. So cold that I couldn't muster a response right away.
Well, she's right. After that day, Satoshi hasn't returned home.
Mio noticed the deadlock between us and hurriedly followed up on what Rena had said.
Well, that is, everyone in the village searched for him, and we even got the police to help us look. And, well, they started thinking that maybe he ran away.
I started thinking maybe he ran away. When running away from home, I thought you were supposed to leave a note or something. So when Satoshi ran away, he would probably have left some kind of a letter apologizing to Sadako. That was just kind of what I figured. But from the way Mion was talking, it seems a little different than just running away from home.
The police did an investigation. Satoshi had been earning money at a part-time job and had some put aside, and they learned that on the day he vanished, he withdrew it all. And then at Nagoya Station or something, they spotted someone who looked a lot like Satoshi.
Withdrew all his savings to fund his escape from home? Was that it? Seemed consistent enough to me, but before I could say anything...
I think that's a lie. Satoshi-kun didn't run away.
declared Rena shortly. Hey, wait, so if he didn't transfer schools or move away, and he didn't run away from home, then what on earth?
Stop it, Rena.
Mion whispered to her. Rena, however, continued without interruption, and then she said this.
Because it was Oyashiro-sama's curse.
Huh? A curse? Took some time before I understood what Rena meant by that. Mion clicked her tongue and shook her head a little bit. Oh, good. Just when I thought we were finally getting back to reliable narration most of the time.
Oh, Mion clicking her tongue and shaking her head. Oh, that Rena. Sometimes her eyes go all weird and she just says wild shit and it takes a while to snap out of it. You know, like friends do.
Like friends do.
Satoshi talked to me before he disappeared. He said someone was watching him, stalking him. They even followed him home.
That does sound a lot like Keiichi in Chapter 1.
He told me that when he went to bed, they were standing there at his bedside looking down at him. Stop it, Rena. It's a portent of Oyashiro-sama's curse, there's no doubt. I think somewhere deep down, Satoshi-kun was probably thinking about abandoning Hinamizawa and running away. And Oyashiro-sama wouldn't allow that. I said stop it.
Rena being like, oh, I thought he was going to leave. So, you know, I did what I do when I think people in my life are going to leave me.
She does seem to have a thing about people leaving Hinamizawa, huh?
Yeah. And a thing she likes to do. This is Rena again.
Oyashiro-sama is the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. He would never allow anyone to abandon Hinamizawa and run away. I apologized for it, but Satoshi-kun probably didn't. It must have been Oyashiro-sama's curse.
Oyashiro-sama's curse? I hadn't intended to repeat it, but the words came out of my mouth anyway. Oyashiro-sama's curse.
The police may have said he ran away, but I don't believe it. I won't believe it, not ever. It's just a lie told by the self-important people in the village who don't want to admit it was the curse. And whether or not you believe in Oyashiro-sama's curse, it's...
Wham! Mion struck Rena in the head. And not in a joking way either.
I told you to give it a rest, didn't I? I try to be nice, but you're pushing me to my limits.
Pushing her to her limits? See, there was plenty of displeasure and anger in Mion's face at that moment. For a few moments after being hit, Rena looked astonished. Perhaps the voices of the Higurashi calmed her frantic mind because, after a little while, she regained her original calm expression. Huh. And we know Mio knows some stuff about the curse of Oyashiro-sama.
Do we?
She knows a little bit about how other people in the village relate to it. Back in Chapter 1, she was like, I don't believe, but everyone else, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
And if the curse of Oyashiro-sama is understood to mean the people dying and disappearing every Watanagashi. And Mion happens to be in the group involved with that, as I suspect she is, then she would obviously know that that's not the result of that, or is like, hey, maybe stop talking about it. Like, this doesn't work if we keep bringing it up all the time. We arrived at the place where we always split up with Mion. No one said a word until we got there. The voices of the Higurashi just tortured our ears with their buzzing.
Oh, Mion having to perform the annual percussive maintenance on the Rena.
Yep. We'd always split up with Mion here, leaving just Rena and I.
Hey, Kei-chan, didn't I promise to lend you some manga? Want to come over real quick?
Huh? She promised that? Or I quickly realized it was a convenient way of saying she wanted to talk to me alone.
Oh, I see. Okay, then Rena will go home.
Maybe she realized it. Maybe she didn't. Thankfully, Rena quickly said she'd go home before us.
Bye, Rena. See you tomorrow. Yep, see you tomorrow. Keiichi-kun, don't be too much of a bother now. It's already evening.
I'm just going to borrow a few books. See you then. Considering the fun day we had, it was a very insipid, lonely parting.
Hey, don't worry too much about before.
After a little while, Mion finally spoke. Quite some time had passed since splitting up with Rena. No, I'm not. Really, I think it was my fault anyway.
Yes, it was. We weren't trying to hide anything about Satoshi. It's just one of those things that we shouldn't mention, you know?
At this point, I understood exactly what she meant by that. Judging by our odd interaction with Rena, I understood so well it hurt that I shouldn't ever talk about it again. Actually, if that's the case, then with Shion, too. No, this is a bigger problem. Talking about it in the first place had been indiscreet. I shouldn't have been interested in it at all. But that's why I really had to think about it. About why everyone got so irritated. Stop this, Keiichi Maebara. By the time I tried to warn myself, I had accidentally spoken already. I won't ask ever again, so could you please tell me honestly? What on earth happened to him? He ran away, right? For a long time, Mion remained silent, but finally, unable to endure it any longer, she began to speak timidly.
Have you ever heard about Oyashiro-sama's curse?
Just a little bit. You got the gist of it. I only overheard someone in class talking about it, though. Oyashiro-sama was the name of the deity protecting Hinamizawa that they would worship at the shrine we had the barbecue at today. And a few years ago, when they started talking about flooding Hinamizawa as part of the dam project, one of the people who worked on the site died or something, and people blamed it on Oyashiro-sama's curse. And that's how it was.
Satoshi's dead parents, they were proponents of the dam project.
Wasn't everyone in the village against it? Why would they support the project if they lived here? The dam project that would flood the entirety of Hinamizawa. I heard the village all got together to fight the terrible project, but it's a little hard to believe there were villagers who were supporting it.
Well, there was a lot of stuff going on, but not everyone agreed to stand up to the dam proposal. Satoshi's parents were basically the leaders of those who were all for it.
Leaders of the ones who were for it, huh? Sadako and Sadoshi's parents?
Yeah, the government had gathered a lot of compensation money to exchange for the construction of the dam. There were plenty of people who agreed with the proposal because they wanted the money.
Huh, okay. Aside from a few households, Hinamizawa was, in general, not very affluent. And not because they were too proud to inherit the land of their ancestors. Wouldn't be strange if some people wanted enough money to start a new life. But even in that case, they would have had to hesitate to say so, given the situation. It happened to be Sadako and Sadoshi's parents who understood that and stood up to be the representative. By that standard, you might say Sadako and Sadoshi's parents were very heroic. They volunteered to be hated, all to help those without much money who didn't have a voice.
And then their parents had bad luck. They died in an accident on the day of the festival honoring Oyashiro-sama. So, people started to think that maybe it had been Oyashiro-sama's curse.
I thought back to what Coach told me today. They went to a nature park on a family outing and fell from a cliff. So people thought even Satoshi running away from home was because of Oyashiro-sama's curse?
Well, yeah, basically.
We're not talking about his aunt and uncle, right? Okay, we're just skimming right over that part. What, do you think we would have forgotten about them by now? It's a bit of an evasive reply, but I felt it was wrong to ask any further, so I didn't press her for details.
I don't think I need to explain this, but for Sadako,
Her parents' accident and Satoshi running away, and all the business about Oyashiro-sama's curse. None of it's a very happy story, you know?
Yeah, of course I knew. I could only nod silently.
That's why we're not mentioning anything about Sadoko's family. Even if someone asks about Satoshi, we all just lie and say he transferred schools. You can understand why, right?
I wanted to protect Sadako's happiness, her smile. As someone who thought that way once, even for a short time, I really did regret having been imprudent enough to broach the topic to begin with. Yeah, I get it. I'm sorry I asked something so careless. When she heard that, Mion smiled, seeming a little relieved. With that understanding, thinking I should get going, I began to make my way home. I could really have stopped by Mion's house, but it was already late. I'd stop by again next time I had the chance. Bye then, Mion. Sorry about today. See you tomorrow.
Yeah. Goodbye. See you next time. Keep up the Kei-fabe.
We waved to each other, and then suddenly remembering something, Mion called out to me.
Kei-chan, one more thing. Not only around Sadoko. Could you keep quiet about Satoshi with Rena, too?
Huh? Sure, I think, but...
I think you realized earlier, but for some reason, when it comes to Oyashiro-sama's curse, she gets extremely serious. Ever since she transferred here.
Huh. Yeah, judging by how Rena was acting earlier, it was clearly no laughing matter to her.
Nice spoonerism.
I didn't mean to, that just happened.
No mathing ladder.
Mion had interrupted the conversation for us, but if Mion hadn't been there, what might have happened? Why would Rena be so serious about it? Not only Rena either, but Shion too.
I don't know. Rena is... Oh, this is a secret, okay? If you tell anyone, we're not friends anymore.
Mion emphasized this as her expression clouded even further. I won't tell. What is this about Rena?
She says she's been a victim of Oyashiro-sama's curse before.
Oh, so she's shared that with Mion, has she? Huh?
Well, it may sound mean, but I think it might be a bad case of a persecution complex or some kind of wrong assumption, but she says so herself, so I believe her. If I poke fun at it, she gets pretty upset. Rena jokes around all the time, but she's really scary when she's mad.
I get it. Don't talk about it in front of Rena, right? About Satoshi.
Yeah. If possible, I think we shouldn't talk about this ever again, for her sake, and for Sadako's.
For everyone else's, too. And if I must say, for your own sake, too, Kei-chan. With her silence, Mion made sure I knew that. Yeah, alright. I got it.
Thanks.
Saying only that, she waved her hand and began walking away.
Oh, and keep her away from baseball bats.
Why? What? I watched her go, a little dazed, and started walking myself. Sadako's older brother, Satoshi. Had he run away from home, or had he been a victim of the curse and disappeared forever? Whichever the case, none of this was anything I should have asked about. The cooling air forced me into self-reflection. I wanted Sadako to smile, yet my curiosity easily defeated me, and I frivolously tried to step into the dark side of things in a joking way. I truly am shameful. I wanted today to be exactly like yesterday. I wanted tomorrow to be just as fun as today, too. So why did I go and do something like that? We were having a blast at the baseball game yesterday. And today we had a blast at the big barbecue party, too. It was a lot of fun. But then I went. I went and almost nullified all those fun times. I would have to be more careful starting tomorrow. I would put all this unpleasant stuff behind me forever. Like hell, I'm gonna let my enjoyable life end because of how careless I was today. But the more I thought that I'd be more careful starting tomorrow, the more I couldn't get rid of the ominous thought that I had already put an end to those enjoyable days with what I'd just done. Hey, wait. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. The gears of destiny are freaking gigantic, aren't they? What happened just now was trivial. It doesn't make any sense to think my life will be totally different starting tomorrow. But even though I understood it logically, the mist in my heart wasn't going to fade until tomorrow turned out to be as fun as today. Ugh, I'm acting weird, thinking a little too much about that conversation. I wish tomorrow would come already. I wanted it to make me understand how absurd my insignificant doubts really were. The night was long. Nice.
All right.
What a game this is. I really enjoy playing this, especially with you.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Lots
got
of tips.
so many new tips. Okay. Slacking manager, copy of the primary. All right. Mystery meat is the achievement. Having a barbecue party with everyone. Why do you call it mystery meat?
Was it a barbecue party with everyone or a barbecue party with everyone?
Why would you do that? Why would you? I had no suspicion that it was human meat before this moment. Why would you suddenly start with that? The slacking manager, huh? So I guess this is about Shion.
Shion-san, why don't you help out a little? Are you asking a girl to carry something heavy? This is why you still haven't found a nice lady at your age, coach. Well, you see, at times like these, here's what people say. It's none of your business. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, this is Shion narrating.
Is it? Okay. He was loading the station wagon with heaps of equipment we'd used for today's barbecue meeting. All the fathers and sons who had helped were starting to get on their way. All right, so Shion-san, why did you come all the way here? If you rode here on your bike, I can give you a lift. I did, but I'll be fine riding back. I appreciate your consideration. I was glad you came today. Things don't quite fit together without the manager here. Am I still the manager? I've been shirking my duty for an entire year, so maybe you should just fire such an incompetent manager already. All right, if you say you want to quit, then I'll fire you whenever you want. Ugh, that's not fair. Let me go soon, please. Every time I don't show up at a game, I get an annoying phone call, and I can't stand those. If you were more honest with yourself, Shion-chan, you'd be far cuter. Your father's so sad. Where did he go so wrong as to deserve such a rebellious daughter? Oh, perhaps if your father catches you in a big loving embrace, you'll open your eyes? Well then, don't mind if I do. Come here. Coach was fooling around with all his might, but Shion just smiled into the distance without responding. Nothing's changed. You're still a weirdo, Coach, and everyone's still as lively as ever. Even though Satoshi-kun isn't here. Is that what you wanted to say? He'll come home, I'm sure of it. He has someone waiting for him. Say whatever you want. He sure is cruel, isn't he? Going off to who knows where, leaving such a cute girlfriend behind. You, out of left field guessed that might be a thing at some point in chapter 2.
Yep.
That's on recording. So, good on you. You had the hard read.
I don't know that counts as a hard read as much as just a fucking random guess. But
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh? Girlfriend? Who? Huh? Jeez, quit laughing already. Coach. Coach bent over and laughed heartily for a little while. We'll see each other again. Please come and root for us once in a while, okay? If I feel like it. I have no desire to be the manager anymore, after all. That's fine. If you don't like it, I'll fire you. I'm not the kind of person who likes forcing people to do things against their will. Okay, fine. I'm sorry. You win this round. If I feel like it, I'll come root for you. So for today, just be patient. Whoops, that time already? It's past time to return all this. I'm already making them wait for me. I'll be leaving for today then. Let's meet again at the next game. Yes, if I feel like it. Goodbye, Coach.
What a strange relationship those two have. Copy of the preliminary autopsy for whom?
For whom indeed?
For Satoshi? Or is this for the person we saw in the very opening?
Yeah, what's with that? We had a fucking fresh killing right at the beginning of the game, and absolutely nothing has in any way mentioned or touched on it. Why is no one talking about this? They just found a mutilated corpse in town.
I wonder if it's Mio. That's what I've been thinking to myself. I'm trying to put together who it might be. All right, but the autopsy suggests the victim was killed in the following manner: entire body found in restraints. Traces left behind from when the body seemed to have been bound indicated use of a specific restraining table rather than rope or another common method. Finger joints on either hand appear to have been bound especially tightly. Highly likely the table was either specially made or homemade given this information. Shion, what you doing, girl? Both ears and nose severed with the sharp blade. Traces of the restraint and other things seem to suggest there was at least one more other than the one who severed these body parts holding down the victim's head. Ears and nose severed with a sharp blade. Possible that multiple blades were used, with one of them most likely being scissors or shears. Ugh. 3. 5 nails penetrated fingers on each hand. 1 long nail stuck in each joint of each finger on each hand, for a total of 30. The deceased's fingers were nailed to wooden planks 20 square centimeters large. Extremely likely these planks were part of the restraining table. In addition, it is likely the table was originally designed for such a purpose. See, but that's one fault in that design, is that means you can only use it once. Because then you have to, like, replace the planks.
Yeah, but I mean, you just make it so you slide a plank in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
And then
Because like,
now
if you're
they're
going
nailed
to all
the
that
plank.
effort, you want to use it more than one time, right?
Yeah, I feel like
okay.
from a carpentry standpoint, this is super doable.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
Think like you those adjustable tables where you can slide the section in and out to make them wider.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, except for murder.
Okay. All right.
It's so convenient.
Yeah. 4. Abdomen incised. Intestines removed. The incision in the abdomen is likely to have been a technique grounded in medical methodology using a sharp blade. Estimated that there was still no threat to the victim's life at this stage. What?
That's a wild thing to say.
That's a fucking wild claim to make. I like that they could have lived through that. Yeah, okay, sure. You could have lived through that.
I think that what it's meant to imply is that the incision itself was deliberately done in a way that it wouldn't kill them, so that they would live through
okay,
having the intestines
that's
pulled
what
out.
We're saying. Okay.
I think that's what's meant to be said here, but it is a wild way to phrase
it's just wildly out of pocket. After this, the organs inside the incision were dismantled and removed. The victim likely died as a result of this process. 5. Body disposed. After fastening a dumbbell to the victim's neck using a commercial pet collar, the victim was likely abandoned in the Oji River's third drain. Judging by the dumbbell's weight, it's highly possible they would have needed at least 3 grown men to have disposed of the body. To Oishi-san. Here is a copy of the preliminary autopsy of the slaughtered corpse in the Oji River. Chief Shigeharu sees this as having a possible relation to the S group.
The S
Sonozaki
group. Who
right?
could that be, huh?
If it's not the Sonozaki group, then I don't know.
It's definitely
What are
the
your thoughts,
Sonozaki group.
Oishi-san? So is that a Yakuza killing?
Maybe.
East round 3. We're back at the Mahjong parlor. There it is. Roan. 3 Chun, 3 Dora, Mangan with 1,500 extra.
Do you understand these mahjong words now?
I do. I absolutely do.
What's up with that? How do you have 3 Dora? You idiot. You're the one who flipped over another con, Dora, when you knew Oishi was in Tenpai. That's what you get.
Getting more Dora was the only thing I could do after revealing the Chun. You can't discard a Dora tile after Yakuhai is out. Oh, wait, hold on. Getting more Dora was the only thing I could do after revealing the Chun. You can't discard a Dora tile after Yakuhai is out. Oishi grinned meaningfully as his buddies, swearing, began breaking down the walls, reforming them. I think they might be playing with some other rules than the ones we've been practicing on.
One of the things that you might like to know, I think that what's the language setting in the app you've been using?
Mine is set to you. I don't know, actually.
Because you may have learned with Chinese language terminology for some of the things. There's a lot of stuff that has 2 different names.
Hold on, I'm looking at the settings on the language set to English. Japanese terms off. So I think I've been learning Chinese terms then. Is that what that means?
Possibly.
Oh, okay. Well, some of these are familiar to me, some of them aren't. Oishi grinned meaningfully as his buddies, swearing, began breaking down the walls and reforming them.
By the way, Oishi-san identified her yet?
What? Oh, the mutilated body in the drainage channel. Oh, this is someone else. What? Oh, the mutilated body in the
Is
drainage.
it?
Yeah. Can you at least come up? Yes, well, you'll have to find proof yourself, though.
You're really something. Who was the deceased?
Rina Mamiya. Actual name Ritsuko. Never heard that name before.
Who the fuck are you?
Literally never heard that name. Ritsuko. It's the receptionist from Somnium Files.
Apparently, she worked for the Blue Mermaid, a hostess bar on Shishibone Flower Road.
Oh, that's a nasty place. Young leader of the Sonozakis owns it, yeah?
Sonozaki. So it's related to the S group. That mountain will be tough to scale.
Rumors say the deceased have been dipping into the Sonozaki's protection money. And on a pretty significant scale, too, from what I've heard.
A woman getting her hands on the protection money sounds like a man's behind it. Not a lot of women do that sort of thing themselves.
Well, he's dead anyway. The body just ain't been found yet.
About that, Oishi-san, her cohabitant's apparently alive.
Alive? Then maybe he'll die soon. Vermin usually exterminate other vermin. I think we have a very nice self-cleansing system going on.
Oishi's outlook on Yakuza killings. He doesn't want them to stop doing murders. He just wants them to keep murdering other criminals. As long as you keep murdering each other, that's fine. And then eventually he'll swoop in and clean up whoever's left.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
her man is, Teppei Hojo.
I knew it. I knew this bastard would show up.
But will he show up alive? Or will he show up dead? Or what?
Yep.
He's in the narration now.
Hojo. Oh.
Hojo? Who's that?
Teppei Hojo. The husband of the housewife who was beaten to death last year in Hinamizawa. I already disappeared after the incident, though. I get it. He was staying at his lover's place, huh?
And so the Sonozakis grow ever more suspicious.
Where's he now?
He was living in a woman's apartment. He must have thought she abandoned him, so he's been searching around shops and other gathering places.
So that's why Sadako ain't living with her uncle. Oh, you right bastard.
The thread's starting to come together.
Oh, so many things. Okay. We're going to have to take a moment to digest all that, but we'll see you next time, everyone.
Peace.
Bye.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.